What's going on, guys and gals? Welcome back to the channel, man. Appreciate you guys coming by. Real quick, I'm going to tell you guys again, hit that subscribe button, turn on that bell. We're doing a watch party for every race this year, and I want you guys to be there, man. So get set up to know when we go live. It's a great time. What a week. What a week. 1,000,001 videos about 4 corners in a heat race. Every moto media outlet, every personality that is remotely connected to the sport has given their take on what happened in Detroit. But my question, what did we learn? Right? What did we learn? And I believe out of all these videos, everybody's opinions, what we learned this week was not a damn thing. We didn't learn anything, man. Nothing that we didn't already know. We knew this coming in. I'm sitting here this week, bro, just feeling crazy. Like, have I completely forgotten everything I've ever known? I've been around this sport literally my entire life. And as you can see, I've been around for a minute. I thought I knew a fair amount about racing. I'm listening to guys that are multi-time champs and like people that really know moto analyze those 4 corners in the heat race, and I'm just like, what are they seeing that I'm not seeing? And then it dawned on me. You guys remember a little while back when a B-class rider at Loretta Lynn's, a B-class rider at Loretta Lynn's Amateur National was caught up in some claim rule controversy? Do you remember that? It's kind of hard to forget because YouTube looked just like it does this week for, I don't even know, weeks following that whole deal. That was covered in depth by Jason Wygant on Racer X. Michael Lindsay did all kinds of interviewing, went very detailed in his approach to get to the bottom of the whole deal. Captain Anti-Amateur Racing himself, Steve Mathis, made a 20-minute video, interviewed the kid that put the claim on the bike and everything, dedicated to just that storyline. All these guys that cover professional motocross and supercross were covering this amateur story. Why? The same reason why these 4 corners are the end of the world. Because it involved Hayden Deegan. Before you feel like you're losing your mind like I did, I just wanted to put this out there for you guys. It's not you, man. You're good. You're good. For 1 second, remove Hayden from that situation. Insert Chris Bloss. Insert Michael Mosiman. Insert literally anybody besides maybe the Lawrence brothers. Insert anybody else. Have those 4 corners play out exactly the same. Do you think we have dozens of videos about just that storyline, those 4 corners in a heat race? Do you think we have a 30+ minute roundtable discussion on Racer X with Weege and Donnie from Rotomoto about Chris Bloss and Jordan Smith, or Mosey and Jordan Smith, or anybody? No, Chris Bloss doesn't build YouTube channels. Michael Mosiman doesn't build YouTube channels. I don't care if they were teammates. Hayden Deegan builds YouTube channels. Look at the very brand itself. We see more of Hayden in the intro to the night show on Peacock every weekend. Dude, I damn near fell out of my chair. I was laughing so hard. With all the drama going on, they literally nominated that heat race exchange as one of the 2 Mike's Hard Lemonade's sweetest passes of the week. Like, need I say more? I keep telling you guys, polarizing figures, right? Polarizing figures. The fans of the sport on each side of that fence that exists for every polarizing athlete. The fence represents somebody that is completely 100% objective. And on each side are the fans that lean one way or the other. On this side, you got a group of people, I told you guys this, you got a group of people that could watch Hayden T-bone a baby carriage, and they would say the baby carriage shouldn't have been there. On the other side, you got a group of people that could see him get hit by an asteroid, and they'd say, well, if he was actually fast, he would have gotten out of the way of the asteroid, right? So you got to remember that. It's not just you and I, okay? It's not just you and I that have a hard time staying right on that fence. It's not just you and I that lean one way or the other. Everybody that covers this sport, including those guys in the booth, including the guys asking the questions in the press conference, everybody involved, we are all one common thing. We are all fans of moto and supercross. We are all fans of the sport. We all have a very hard time truly staying on that fence and not leaning one way or the other. And on each side of that fence, there's a lens. Everything that happens in this kid's career, this group of people is going to see it through their lens. That group of people is going to see it through their lens. That's just the reality of it. Don't feel crazy. Don't feel like you're losing your mind and you just all of a sudden don't know anything about the sport. That's not the case. It is quite literally beneficial for anybody in the moto media world to be extra critical of everything Hayden does. I'm going to use myself, okay? I'm just going to use myself as an example. Brand new channel for moto. I would be growing at 4 times the rate that I am right now if I were to take that position on the other side of the fence and see everything through their lens. I would be growing way faster if I just hated on everything the kid did. If I looked at those 4 corners in that heat race and said, well, he finally showed us his true colors. That's who he really is. That's who he's always been. He's just a punk. He's arrogant. He's this and that. Did you hear him in the press conference? If I took that route, you got to realize, picture all of moto fans as a pie, right? In my case, I lean towards the fandom side. I am a Hayden fan. I'm a fan of all of these guys. I'm not on the other side of the fence for any single rider in the paddock, not one. So when I give my viewpoints or my takeaways from these incidents or these races in general, and I talk up whatever Hayden does, I appeal to a certain portion of that pie. I appeal to the people that support and ride with the Deegans. That's who I appeal to, okay? That's who is going to click on my video. That's who's going to engage with my content. That's who's going to comment. That's who's going to hit the like button. That's who's going to subscribe. Everybody else that takes the position on the other side of the fence, they are getting a much bigger piece of that pie. The way the YouTube algorithm works, it doesn't read your comments. It can't hear your tone of voice. It knows one thing: the engagement level. So you got my video lifting the kid up, supporting the kid, backing the kid, whatever. I'm going to get the fans of Hayden engaging with my content. Take another video. Plenty of examples out there. I'm sure you guys all know what's going through my mind right now, or people's names that are going through my mind right now. You got people that make videos hating on the kid. Why do those have way more views? Because both sides of the fence are clicking on it and commenting on it. The people on my side of the fence are clicking on it, commenting, saying you're an idiot, you don't know anything about what you're talking about, you're a Deegan hater, you're just a hater, blah, 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 blah. YouTube doesn't care. Let's say there's 500 comments on that video and every single one of them is ripping the content creator apart. Every comment is just ripping him apart, telling him how dumb he is. All the algorithm knows, that video got clicked on X amount of times. It got, let's say, 500 comments. So it's just going to keep spreading. Your comment, okay, your one comment, you're just a hater. It does the exact opposite of what you're trying to do. You're trying to tell the guy, bro, piss off, right? You have no idea what you're talking about. Cut it out, blah, blah, blah. Your comment, the second you clicked on that video and commented, you can hit the thumbs down button. You can do whatever you want. At that point, you just help that video spread. Every one of you that does that, you help that content spread. So it is beneficial especially for somebody in my position, but it doesn't matter. You never get too big to keep growing. It's YouTube. Every single one of these guys, it benefits them to take that position. They get a much bigger piece of the pie. They get everybody agreeing with them on that side of the fence, and they get everybody on this side of the fence hating on them, fighting against them, arguing with them, but the algorithm doesn't care. All that engagement is just going to help it spread. So that's why I really applaud the guys. Like this week, for instance, out of all the videos that have come out about these four corners in the heat race, there's maybe 3 that I saw that were truly objective, that looked at the situation without any names attached, without any bias at all, just looked at what happened and really analyzed which rider was wrong where, which rider could have done what to avoid the situation, blah, blah, blah. I applaud those guys. Anybody that's been doing YouTube for any amount of time recognizes the fact that if you take the position on the other side of the fence, you're going to grow way faster. So you have to show some extra appreciation to people that lift up riders. Not just Hayden, everybody. So I just wanted to put it out there, man. Get used to it. Don't freak out and feel like you got to battle in all these comment sections. You are having the opposite effect that you want to have. You are doing way more damage by just blocking that channel altogether or scrolling right past the video than you are clicking on it, hitting the thumbs down, and commenting how stupid they are. Just scroll by. Scroll by. Your comment isn't going to change who that person is. I hate to tell you. Your comment isn't going to change what they think. It's going to be like this for his entire career. I promise. Again, I'm going to tell you guys again, lifelong Tom Brady fan. Brady could do something on any given Sunday that 10 other quarterbacks did. But on Monday morning, when the Monday morning quarterbacks would come out on TV, when he does it, he's just the worst human being on planet Earth. Everybody else, there happens to be a reason why. Polarizing figures get treated very, very differently. And a lot of it is about growth. Again, if it's Chris Bloss and Jordan Smith, both on Star Yamaha, and the same thing happens, we don't have any of this. I wouldn't have made my video about it. I have nothing to hide. I'm going to be transparent with you guys always. I wouldn't have made a video about it. Why? Nobody's going to care. Nobody's going to care. The only reason people care is because the opinions on both sides of that fence are so extremely passionate. The people that love Hayden and the family really love Hayden and the family. The guys that hate Hayden and the family really hate Hayden and the family. And it's just always been like that. So don't feed into it. Don't feel like you're losing your mind when you're hearing them talk about these things and like, what are they seeing that I'm not? Right? I've heard very few truly objective opinions this week. AJ Catanzaro was definitely one. James Stewart did a great job. His video has almost 300,000 views, and that's just case in point right there. People want to know, which side of that fence do you lean towards? So do I support you, or do I just hate on everything you do moving forward? That's what it's all about, man. So don't feel like you're losing your mind. You're not going crazy. I'm not either. Well, not related to this anyways. I do still have 3 kids and a wife, so it's fallen apart. Probably actually use some help now that we're on the subject. But that's for a different video. I just found this whole week very amusing, and I'm sitting here feeling like I'm losing my mind, and I know that I'm not alone. So I figured I would just put this out there and remind you guys, remember that B-class amateur rider was talked about on all these same channels to the same extent, maybe even more. I mean, that storyline was around for months after it happened. Welcome to Hayden's pro career. It's going to be like this until he retires. I hate to tell you. Everything he does is forever under a magnifying glass. Whether or not that's fair, that's up for debate. But the reality is, it's the nature of the beast. The best part about all this is they know how to handle it. They are great. Brian has been through all this. I'm not worried about the effect it's going to have on Hayden. Not this much. Not this much. Look at the press conference, for instance. Last thing I'm going to talk about. The press conference. That's some of these guys that are so mad on the whole deal. It's because he was so smug, so punk, so arrogant in the press conference. That just tells me you have never seen anything Hayden related until that very moment. Any of us that have followed the whole story, for one, tons of people are saying his arrogant laugh, that goofy, arrogant punk laugh, that is literally Hayden's laugh. Whether it doesn't matter what, that's his laugh. That is his laugh. I don't know about you. I didn't pick my laugh. You think I would pick that goofy thing? No, he didn't pick his laugh. That's his laugh. But people take it out of context because they have no clue what they're talking about. They see everything through the lens on the other side of the fence, and then they make content about it. That's forever going to be the case. So just get used to it, man. Just get used to it. We know what that was. We know exactly what that was. That was a 17-year-old kid's second ever press conference. First ever time going into a press conference in that situation where something controversial happened and he's now on the hook to explain it. And you got to remember, everybody in his corner, his dad, who has been there literally, his team, who I'm sure has things, a direction that they want him to take certain questions, he's being coached on how to answer these things. So when he says something like, oh, I don't know, I wasn't really paying attention, that's just how he interpreted some sort of coaching that was given to him before he went into that press conference. I almost guarantee it. I'm sure it didn't come out as it was intended, but he didn't mean any ill will towards it. Like, if you know the kid, if you followed the story, then you just saw what happened. Like, he didn't know what to say. He wasn't trying to be smug or arrogant or punk. But again, lenses, people. There's a lens on each side. It all depends which one you're standing in front of. So you're not losing your mind. All right. Not related to this anyways. If you're anything like me, well, maybe we can go get help together. Anyways, man, I appreciate you guys. We're back on West Coast time for these watch parties. It's going to be a long night. I'm an East Coast guy, so yeah, watch party starts tomorrow night around 10 o'clock. And we'll be here till around 1 o'clock. So anyways, I appreciate you guys, man. I really do. Let me know what you thought about all this in the comments. I love reading you guys' comments. Just because I don't respond to them all doesn't mean I don't read them. Let me know what you guys thought. Do me a favor and hit that like button. It really helps the channel grow. Subscribe, turn on that bell so that you know when we go live for the watch party tomorrow night. And I will see you all there. Until then, peace.